bit about the mechanics of the report. The why is it done? How is it done? We're trying to report facts here, not to necessarily satisfy somebody's desire for a conclusion. Russia is a good example. I think by anybody's account, the situation in Russia has moved backwards in the last year. And those concerns have been expressed by the president. They've been expressed by this secretary, by the former secretary, members of Congress. Now, some people, can say, well, tactically, I would have used this word rather than that word to describe it. But the fact is, there's not much dissent on that. On the general process, though, of what if somebody is going to be offended by the report, other people? What I found is that there's not much argument about that. Within the executive branch, people pretty much understand what the report is, why we need to be as objective as we can be in reporting the information. What you do about the information, that's where you have the debates.
I think that former Secretary Powell or Deputy Secretary Army.
With Saudi Arabia, it was, again, it's glass half full, half empty. It was good that they had municipal elections. It's not good that women were excluded. It's not good that even though parts of the municipal councils were elected, other parts are appointed still. So that's maybe a partial step forward, but you can see just even built into it all the things that are holding back. Saudi Arabia this year was cited as a country of particular concern because of its lack of religious freedom, where everybody who isn't tied to the particular sect of Islam that is dominant in the country is persecuted for their religious beliefs. So Saudi Arabia has a poor record, and we say so in here.
You requested. Can you just give us some background on that?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at what's happening in Iraq, where you've just had elections there, when you look at the Palestinian territories, where you've just had free elections there, where you have President Mubarak at least talking about having free elections, and what's gone on in Iran is very much the opposite, where the space for people that didn't agree with the ruling clique has been reduced, and I think that's covered in the report, that people weren't able to run for election and so on. So Iran's got a real problem if it wants to become a respected member of the family of nations. It's not doing the things that get you there.
On Ukraine, in Afghanistan, with their elections.
There have been some positive steps in the Middle East in terms of having elections in Iraq and in the Palestinian territories, and you're starting to see some more popular ferment from other countries wanting to have these same benefits. We've seen, as Undersecretary Dobryansky mentioned, people demonstrating in Beirut now, not wanting to be dominated by Syria anymore in their government. So there are signs, but it's the Middle East. Up until a couple of years ago, it was kind of the one area that people didn't think was ready for democracy. It was all the old excuses, and the speech that the president made over at the National Endowment for Democracy said it's no longer off limit. Alarming increase in anti-Semitic incidents.